Um, so this, um, this is a second session of self-healing techniques for food allergies. So before we get into the session, let's extend our deepest gratitude to Patriji and the Meditation Magic team for providing us this wonderful platform of meditation as well as wisdom sessions conducted by many masters through which we are sharing and learning from each other. So with that, just last week we talked about a couple of things. One of the major thing for food allergies is to see how we can. The main goal of the food allergy elimination is to improve our overall gut health and our immune system. So to accomplish that, we said we have to reduce the antibiotics if anyone is continuously getting sick. So how do we reduce the antibiotic usage? So basically, the first and foremost thing is we have to reduce our sickness. So how do we reduce our sickness? Through physical energy, by exercising, by eating healthy food, by reducing our stress levels. So these are one ways, and to introspecting our life very deeply to see where we can continue to improve. And we also talked about life force energy, and where we can increase our energy levels through meditation and being more aware, being more mindful and positive. Because by being very positive, we are not depleting our energy levels as well. But though we gain a lot of energy through meditation, we also have to ensure that energy is really not wasted or depleted. So that is where being more mindful, being more positive, being more aware and conscious will definitely help us in retaining our energy. So today we'll talk about how and why this energy is really important and what are some of the food that we can try to incorporate to improve our overall gut health. Okay, so the energy makes a very important role because the energy that we acquired will help us take care of ourselves better than what we were before. That is the reason, that is the basic reason why energy is so important. And when we have more energy, obviously we'll feel more better, more happier than before. So which means we'll have more time to take care of ourselves, which means we will be able to invest more time with our family members and take care of family members even more better. Because when you're really happy, then you feel motivated and disciplined to do more things which you didn't had time in the past earlier. For example, in my case, I would never come out of my shell without the practice of meditation. I wouldn't have come to a public platform like this and share my learnings. Some of my friends and relatives who have known me since childhood are surprised to see this by looking at some of my Instagram post, or the way I'm being tagged by Meditation Magic. They are very surprised to see me coming out of my own comfort zone. And the reason I'm doing this is for myself. I'm doing this for myself to be more happier by serving others in whatever way I can. So that is where I think the energy makes a big difference. And so coming back to energies, when we have more energy, we do things more enthusiastically, and we will have no time to plan. We have more time to plan a lot of other things that we couldn't do in the past. With this new set of acquired energy, now for coming to the food allergies, what we can do for ourselves and for the family is we can cook food very mindfully, with more passion, with which means we can become more creative in doing the way with the trying out new dishes, putting in a lot more energy. And when this particular food is consumed by others, you're indirectly passing some of your energies. Let's say if we cook the food when you're really tired after coming back from work, or with lot when your body is so in the state of anxiety, then not so good energies are getting into the food, right? So that's the reason energy plays a very important fact when cooking food mindfully. So when we cook food with positive mind, our kids are also more enthusiastic, especially for working mothers. We don't have a lot of time because we juggle doing a lot of things, and also sometimes depending upon the role and responsibilities that we have, that we definitely need to look for some help, whether it's doing some, we feel that we can do everything, but sometimes we can do certain, we all of us have 24 hours, so we cannot really do everything. Yes, we by increasing the energies we can definitely do a lot more things than in the past, but there are some ways that we can seek help by outsourcing these chores, by hiring a helper, or even for that matter we can even hire a cook, depending on what works for your lifestyle. So we'll have to introspect and see, right? It's okay to spend money to make our health better, rather than juggling with lot many things and draining our energy. And especially when if we decide to hire a cook, it's very important to find a cook who is very positive and enthusiastic, because that makes a big difference. If you cannot find a cook of that type of energy levels, then maybe there is other things that you can seek help, right? Whether it's a regular cadence of cleaners or regular cadence of shopping or grocery list, whatever may be the reason it is. So it's very important to plan accordingly so that you spend the time in the right way, um, and focus on yourself and your family in a better fashion. And also try to eat homemade food and fresh meals as much as possible. I know there are times where we can not make fresh meals on a regular basis, but once in a while we can also go out, um, especially to restaurants and things like that. But it's important to eat homemade food, because energies of the food which is prepared at home makes a big difference. And you might be wondering why we need to limit restaurant food, right? The reason is we don't know how much the restaurant staff are stressed out, and what type of energies they are carrying. Especially nowadays, many restaurants, they're so busy, they're so fully occupied, and the restaurant staff is trying to accommodate as many people as possible, right? So that is the reason food plays a very important role on where we eat and what we eat, whether we are eating homemade food cooked by an energy person, or whether we are eating outside food. It's okay to eat outside food, but try to limit as much as possible, because if you look in the olden days as well, people take some time, they sit and eat very mindfully. So that is the next thing. Once we have food on the table, it's very important to eat mindfully. I've seen people standing and eating so that they can rush to the office or attend a party or a meeting for that. Even if it's a 5 minutes time, um, it's okay to eat a small amount of food rather than huge amount. But mindfully is very important. It's important to eat mindfully rather than gulping the food or drink. Especially what is mindful eating. So let's see what is mindful eating. So looking at mindfulness. So mindfulness is a practice of enjoying or being with the present moment, whatever we do. So in the case of mindful eating, when we are eating food, we need to be fully present and feel the food, enjoy the food, and observe the texture, aroma, observe the ingredients. Basically, we need to enjoy the food without watching TV, YouTube, Reels, and not only watching, but basically not even thinking about unwanted things at that point of time. Because when we think about something while we are eating, you're kind of carrying that energies, unnecessary energies, going into our body. So that plays a big role in mindful eating, actually. And other aspect of it is we can practice gratitude before we eat as well. We extend, as meditators, we extend gratitude for many things, for many people, and for many things as well. But just before eating, we can practice gratitude as well. We can extend gratitude to farmers for growing fruits and vegetables. Because of them, we are able to eat healthy and especially energetic food. So, and then we can also continue to express our thank you to the universe for giving us healthy meal before eating. So, not just for the sake of saying, but we need to do that gratitude, expressing it from our heart space, really feeling grateful for the person who cooked food for us, or the person who got the groceries, for the farmers. So that definitely is going to be for us in a mindful state as well before we start eating. Another thing which I would like you all to experiment is 41 days of plant-based diet. Being a plant-based person, is the best gift that you can give for yourself. Again, this is not mandatory, but I'm just encouraging you to experiment this 41 days of plant-based diet. I stopped eating meat almost 3.5 years or almost 4 years. And after I stopped, I started feeling so light. My body is so light, and my digestion is also so much better. And the other aspect is I have less fear energies than I used to have before. I used to be afraid of certain things. I'm still afraid of certain things. I'm not completely gone, but definitely my fear energies are a lot more less compared to before, actually. So that is something that I would like you to experiment 41 days and see how you guys feel. You might uh, feel definitely better or not. You can just try to journal it as well and experiment it for 40 or 41 days. And then I also want to talk about the food. Now, for the food allergies, how can we improve our gut health and the immune system? So it's also important to observe what is the type of the food that we consume. So one of the main things is we need to increase our probiotics, right? Because probiotics is a way which can improve the good bacteria in our gut, which means that will help us. The good bacteria plays a big role in improving the overall digestion and the response to the food allergens as well. So one of the best probiotic that we all know is yogurt. I understand some of you might be on vegan diet, or some of you probably are allergic to milk. For them, you can always try coconut yogurt, almond yogurt, if you don't want to consume any of the milk products. I highly recommend going for non-GMO labeled yogurts in the grocery stores. So that's something, and you can try any flavor. Coconut yogurts are great. I would prefer coconut yogurts over almond yogurt, but almond yogurt it's a good one. If you have followed Dr. Pal on YouTube, he's a gastroenterologist practicing medicine in California, and he recommends drinking coconut water, fresh coconut water, which is great for gut. And being a gastroenterologist, he has a lot of videos on his YouTube on how and what are some of the foods that can improve the gut as well. And coconut water is something that he recommends greatly. And I also personally recommend coconut water because it has helped me as well. And another aspect is one of my friends, her son actually has eczema, a good amount of eczema as a kid. And she started giving him coconut water, and it really helped his skin improve actually. So that was another thing that I want to share about the coconut water. All right. And there are different forms of probiotics that we can consume. Example, like, apple cider vinegar. Obviously, that has to be mixed with water, or you can put that in salads and you can eat that. That's another great form of probiotic. There are many other probiotics as well. But for example, in the Indian culture, idli has a lot of probiotics. As a breakfast, a lot of people eat idli, right? So that has a lot of probiotics because it's fermented batter. And I'm sure like other culture have different foods which are prepared by fermenting, right? So those probiotics can actually add a lot of value, and it's a great way to improve our gut. Okay. Yes, there are some over-the-counter probiotics as well. Um, but I would recommend natural probiotics to be used more frequently than the over-the-counter pills. And then I understand there's like a lot of probiotics when you search in Google, but I would recommend you to experiment and see what is something that suits your body. Listen to your body and experiment it. What is working? How is the body reacting? And if you're already consuming probiotics, let's say for this, like yogurt, or if you are already consuming idli, right, then try to increase the intake. Let's say if you're eating once that particular probiotic once a week, go for twice a week or thrice a week. That's another way of improving your probiotic intake, which can definitely help your gut as well. Okay. Any questions so far on the food? Okay. I'm going to take another couple more minutes, and then we can wrap up the session.
Ma'am, you said you eat plant-based diet, right? So how you manage to get enough proteins?
Proteins, yeah. There are so many different pulses, right? Chana dal, kidney beans, like, um, uh, and different probiotic like tofu, which is soya chunks, and then hemp seeds. That is also a good amount of protein actually. One thing that I have personally observed is after I became a vegetarian, my B12 levels slightly dropped, but then I started consuming, I started taking, supplements for B12. But now for the last couple of months, I'm not even taking B12. My B12 as per my last visit, it was all good. So try to look for various proteins, soy chunks, tofu, like which you get it as meal maker in Indian stores, and different types of pulses. So that could also chickpeas, all of that definitely helps.
And you said ham seeds.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, I think I got it in Costco. Let me just Google and make sure it's hemp
okay.
seeds.
Okay, thank you.
Hemp seeds. Yeah. It has a lot of protein, actually. Doctors also recommend that hemp seeds.
Hemp seeds. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Now that we have talked about the food, probiotics, mindful eating, so let's get into the visualization. Visualization is a very, very powerful tool, as you're already familiar. But yes, visualization can also be used for food allergies. Let's say if somebody has an allergy of nuts, right? So we can imagine And if the kid is not able to eat any ice cream which has nuts, so we can always visualize saying that the kid is really enjoying, or if that person is really enjoying that particular ice cream which has nuts, or if the person has an allergy to eggs. Imagine some of the ice creams are made with eggs, right? Some of the cakes are made with eggs. So imagine that every day in the morning or in the evening, based on your routine, visualize that the person is able to eat and is so happily enjoying that particular dish. So that makes it a big difference. It will definitely work by practicing. This is one of the technique along with other techniques that we have discussed. And affirmations also make a big role. But before we get into affirmations, even pecans, right? So let's say that if we have a cookie which has, visualize a cookie which has some nuts, and then imagine that the person is really enjoying that cookie, and being expressing the gratitude that he or she is really having a good time enjoying the food. And then affirmations also play a big role. So the way we want to affirm is expressing the thank you to the universe, saying that I'm able to eat this particular, talk as if that has already happened, and you're able to eat the dish which has nuts or which has eggs, which has chickpeas, based on whatever that allergy is. Talk to the universe as if that has already happened and be grateful for that. So that is also a very powerful technique, so that we can leverage in our day-to-day life as well. And try doing this early in the morning or later in the evening. But I also recommend a book called Morning Miracle. Actually, I came to know about this book through my friend as part of Meditation Magic. That's also a very powerful where the author is really talking about taking the time for yourself first thing in the morning before you do any of the chores, so that you can connect with the universe, do your affirmations, do your visualization techniques. All of that works very great. Okay, so those, and obviously, meditation is such a powerful thing. That is another great technique. If you can incorporate, whether for the kids or whether for adults, we can incorporate daily meditation practice to begin with, at least 15 minutes a day, multiple times if possible, or to begin with 15 minutes per day, and then slowly trying to ramp up the number of minutes. That can make a big difference. And I also want to share one more thing. I have been to Joe Dispenza retreat this year, and there was a mom who was actually suffering from food allergies since her childhood. But she continued to live like that. But then when she had a little girl, and when the kid also had allergies, and when she was not able to eat the food, um, then and due to other challenges that she went through in her personal life as well, she came into the path of meditation. And with Joe Dispenza books that she read, and she also attended Joe Dispenza's retreat in the past, and she tried to adopt meditation as a daily practice in the morning. And she used to wake up like early hours, like around 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and then continuously try to do like 2 hours stretch of meditation. And simply by practicing meditation, her body gained a lot of energy levels, right? And she was able to get rid of her own allergies. And then her daughter also miraculously healed all the allergies. I know it's a journey, but so what she was explaining, the testimonial that she gave in front of 2000 plus people, live testimonial, was she was talking about a specific, like her kid was one day suddenly in one of her in one of the class, she was given a chocolate which had some nut. And in the evening, she came home, and the daughter told her mom that I ate this chocolate. And the mom was surprised. How did you eat it? And she said, did you had any reaction? And she said that I didn't had any reaction. So basically, she realized that she was completely out of that allergy of that particular nut. And then the second occurrence happened for a different allergen, and she didn't react at all. And then what the mother started doing was she used to carry an EpiPen every time, whenever she goes out with the kid. And the school also used to have an EpiPen as well. So now that she saw the improvement in the kid, what she ended up doing was she used to put the EpiPen next to her, and she started trying out small intakes of the other food allergies that she used to have. And she started giving in small quantities to test if the child was reacting or not. And it used to work on the child. I know it's a very sensitive topic to try it out, especially with food allergy, for someone who has to use an EpiPen. But that's how she tried for the other things, and she realized that the daughter is completely healed of the food allergies. And now both mom and daughter can eat all the foods, the. So that is something that I want to share about my experience, where I heard that live testimonial from um, the book name is Miracle Morning. Yeah, Miracle Morning. Okay. So with that, so just a quick recap. I think that's all I wanted to share about all the techniques that I have been practicing. So basically, we talked about how to reduce antibiotics, how to raise our energies, how to cook, how we can leverage that energies to introspect our lifestyle and what changes we can do into the lifestyle, and how we can cook food more energetically, and how we can actually eat mindfully, and obviously the probiotics, which can add a big impact in the improving the gut as well. And we also talked about meditation. We also talked about affirmations as well as visualization. So all of these techniques together is definitely going to help the overall immune system as well as the gut health. Okay, so right, that's all I have.
Prathyusha, so you read this Miracle Morning, and that's where you got this information, whatever you're trying to explain us for
No,
life.
Miracle Morning is mostly for different techniques that the author talks about,
Mm-hmm.
manifest some of the things. But some of the ones that I'm talking about, these energies, and antibiotic usage, how to reduce the antibiotic usage,
Mm-hmm.
all of this is something which is my personal
Journey, your
learning.
experiences. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
personal
okay.
learnings
Mm-hmm.
on how to raise the energies, how to raise so that how the food itself with the probiotics can improve the overall gut health. All of this is basically what I have adopted in my life in raising my kids. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Andy. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Any other questions? Think we can stop the recording and then maybe we can take any of the questions. Let's see.